Greetings, I'm Ray MacDonald.
And shalom, I'm Rosalind MacDonald.
And together we work within the Christian community for Leket Israel, the National Food Bank. In our travels, I talk to a lot of Christians, and so many of them ask, Ray, Leket, what's that? What does that mean? Well, it's a biblical word, it's a Hebrew word, and it means to gather or to glean. It's also a mitzvah. It's a commandment from God. As God said to Israel, ancient Israel, in Leviticus chapter 19, when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field, nor shall you gather the gleanings, leket, of your harvest. And you shall not leket or glean your vineyard, nor shall you gather every grape of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am the Lord your God.
And you see a beautiful depiction of this in the book of Ruth, where we see how a Gentile woman, Ruth, goes to Israel with her mother-in-law and literally has to glean in the fields of Boaz in order to be able to live. And so we see that beautiful depiction of Ruth and Boaz getting together, and from them later on comes the Messiah.
Wow, excellent. Leket Israel, the National Food Bank, is kind of a modern adaptation on that ancient command.
Over 20% of Israel's citizens are not receiving daily nutrition that they need. And at the same time, Israel, which for centuries was largely a desert place, is blooming once again and actually has a surplus of food.
We rescue that surplus food and we distribute it to hundreds of nonprofit organizations throughout Israel that work with the poor, soup kitchens, food banks, senior citizens complexes. Currently, we are feeding about 250,000 Israelis each week.
Here's a tour of our new warehouse with founder Joseph Gitler.
Remember, Ruth said,
"Entreat me not to leave you or to turn back from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God."
When we as Christians stand with Israel, we're just like that ancient biblical Ruth.
Please come and join us and really connect with the land.
Enjoy the video. Thanks.
Hi everyone, it's Joseph Gitler, founder and chairman of Leket Israel. So proud to be coming to you from our Leket Israel main distribution center. This is where the magic happens. Behind me you see lots of volunteers working hard, packing fruits and vegetables for distribution to the needy throughout the state of Israel. Please, for those unfamiliar with the work of Leket, we distribute all our produce, all the cooked food we rescue, and anything else we get our hands on to a network of over 330 feeding agencies throughout the state of Israel, Jewish and non-Jewish alike. So what you see behind me is eventually going to end up on our trucks and distributed throughout the country. So let's take a little look at what people are up to over here. I just want to give a sense of the kind of work we're doing. First of all, this is the most beautiful packing job I think I've seen in my 18 years of involvement with Leket. That is just perfect work. Thank you. It's always important for people to understand why is Leket, because we do get grade A perfect stuff. That's often related to price in the market. But these carrots all came from the biggest packing plants in Israel, and you can see why we get them. Funky looking carrot, broken carrot, little carrot. Nothing wrong with them, perfectly edible, perfectly healthy, perfectly nutritious and safe, but grading standards make it that they end up being bypassed in the normal system. So we get our hands on them and we make sure that they get to the people who need them. Take a peek over here. So here are some of my friends working hard, but I want to show you how hard they're working. We got to get in here because we really gave them the hardest work. So we get these tiny little potatoes. They are actually not collected by Leket volunteers. They're done by a combine. And the problem is when the combine picks them up, it doesn't do such a good job of differentiating between this, might be a rock, might just be a hard piece of mud, and the potato. So instead, we make sure to get the most fit people we have who do a lot of squats and other exercises all day long at work. They have those desks that come up and down. But these are great potatoes again. Nothing wrong with them. They just a little extra work. They're a little dirty, which actually I feel like people would love to see dirt on their potatoes. Everything feels so perfect and clean when we get it. It's good to connect a little bit with the land and to see the actual dirt. Let's go on. And behind me, we have our new state-of-the-art, built in Israel, designed in Israel, sorting and cleaning machine, which has totally revamped and sped up the work that we do here in our warehouse. It will enable us to distribute millions of more pounds this year and in much nicer and cleaner condition than we used to distribute them. I think nothing will give you a better sense of the scope and the size of Leket's work more than taking a peek in this huge, huge refrigerator. We're gonna make it quick because I'm a little bit cold. Come, take a look. All right, look at these bags, okay, filled with, I can't actually tell, usually it's carrots or potatoes. Carrots, okay? Each one is about a ton. You're talking tens of thousands of pounds just of carrots. Here, you can't even see it all. Potatoes, more potatoes. My gosh, I actually am not certain I've ever seen this amount, certainly by weight, with pretty much most of this room being filled with carrots and potatoes, so the weight of these crops is massive. And these are actually much nicer. These are in very, very nice condition. They don't have those rocks that we showed. The reason we're getting them, it's hard for you to sense, but they're a little bit soft. So edible, great for mashed potatoes, delicious. I would take a bite, but raw potatoes are not my thing. And incredible, there's amounts. And what's nice about potatoes and carrots is that the agencies we serve, the hundreds of thousands of Israelis who get help from Leket on a weekly basis, carrots and potatoes are two of the crops that are most in demand by them. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Woo! The refrigerator is working, that much I can tell you. It's actually a beautiful day in Israel, as it always is, and it's freezing in here. So I don't think it's all carrots and potatoes, wow. Like we're back in Poland. If we just had some beets, it would be perfect. And usually we have beets. Let's take a look. Woo. This is actually a smaller refrigerator, not as full right now. But the nice thing is, here we have some more variety, not just potatoes and carrots. Okay, here we have grapefruits, I'm guessing. Again, we can see why Leket has them. They're a little bit gnarly, a little bit funny shaped, but they're perfectly fine. Yum. Lemons, okay? Lemons, again, big, ugly. Kohlrabi, our kohlrabi is almost always perfect. Very popular in Israel. I love it also. Take a look here. Cabbages. So again, it's really important for us to give a variety of crops. It's important for the health. And I think what everyone will certainly take from this is that the needy among us in Israel are actually getting crops of the absolute highest quality, maybe even better than what you and I are actually buying in stores. One more place where the magic happens. Here you have some very interesting work. We've had to come up sometimes with our own patents on how to do work. So in order to get these ready for delivery into bigger crates, this is what we do back here. And as you can see, the potatoes are endless amounts of this. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour. I cannot wait to see you here in person, please God, very soon.